This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Start of the Lady Flames tennis season is coming up, and we're visiting now with one of the seniors and returnees on this team, Grace Hashiguchi, kind enough to give us a few moments here. Lynchburg native, at least as of now. I guess that's home for you.
Yep.
Grew up in Maryland. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Grace, appreciate the time.
Yeah.
How excited are you for the start of the season?
I am super excited. We haven't played a dual match as a team in quite a while since our season got canceled last spring. So we're all very excited to go out and compete this weekend.
Yeah, I bet you are. I mean, you think back, it's been almost a calendar year now since the last time you played a competitive match. How tough was it going through the fall and just really kind of competing against one another, I guess?
Yeah, it was really interesting. So a lot of the girls actually ended up staying over the summer because we have a lot of internationals on our team. So we were here competing in the summer and then also throughout the fall as well. And although there weren't a lot of options for tournaments and, we weren't able to compete as a team, our coaches definitely set up some opportunities within practices and stuff to still help us get that competition in that we needed to get ready for the spring.
Well, you had 8 singles wins last year. Would have been a lot more had the season not been cut short, obviously, in March. But with the team coming back as deep as this one is, with a lot of experience, a lot of older players, how confident is this team that it can make a run for a championship here this year?
Yeah, we're really excited. Like we've been all working really hard. We have our new addition this spring, Marina, and right from the bat, she definitely fit in with our team, and she's a great addition. And I think we are really ready for this season, to go out there and compete.
Yeah, you mentioned Marina coming in from Tulsa, Marina Davtian, but then also, Esther Lovato coming back. I mean, just, how talented is this team compared to maybe other teams that you played on?
Yeah, we have a lot of different girls on our team, a lot of different playing styles, and that can fit different places in the lineup. And I think that's really good to have a diverse team like that. And so I think we're gonna go out there and just show everyone how hard we worked over the past season. And so yeah.
Grace, for you personally, how hard have you worked and what have you worked on specifically with this extra time to prepare?
Yeah, so I've, put in all the effort that I can as myself, like worked really hard on my own game. And also like, since I'm a team captain, it's also really important that we do a lot of bonding and stuff as a team. And so I think even though we weren't allowed to travel and like compete like we normally do in the fall, we've done a lot of team building stuff that has really helped us grow as a team. And I think that'll really help us go into the competitions.
Let's talk a little bit about where you're from and how you got to Liberty. I think you said that your parents were in Maryland. You lived there, and then they moved to Lynchburg when you came to Liberty. Is that right?
Yes. So they were actually planning to move down here before I actually decided to come to Liberty. So it kind of worked out really nicely. But they just love it here. It's a really good retirement area. And they're looking to retire pretty soon. So, and they know some people that already live down here. So that's kind of like why they decided to move down here. But yeah.
What made Liberty stick out for you?
I was a Christian. I was homeschooled, but I kind of went to a Christian-based homeschool group where I took classes and stuff. And our supervisor, her daughter actually went to Liberty, and she was always speaking so highly of it and said it was such a great environment to help grow yourself through your academics and like your spiritual life. And, that really stood out to me. And when I reached out to Coach Marion, I could tell right from the bat he was a lot different than all the other coaches, and how he had his team set up and like that family environment. And I think it was just a great fit for me.
What's the experience been like for you? I mean, I'm looking back at some of the on-court successes, and then last year, I mean, getting to play in Hawaii. I mean, come on, that's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. So Liberty has been great. We've been able to play a lot of different teams. We've played Virginia Tech, which is like a really big school. And I think they just give us so many great opportunities to show our game and show what we can do against the bigger teams and stuff. And also growing like as a family, like our coaches really care about our own growth as individuals, not just our tennis growth, which I think is incredible.
Now, speaking of tennis growth, you had a uncle that played at Washington. So has tennis always kind of been in your blood here?
Actually not. So I'm actually the only person in my family currently to play tennis. My older siblings didn't really do sports. I was actually in dance before tennis, which is what my older sister does. But then when I was about 10 or 11, I decided, what kind of want to do something a little bit different. And my dad actually played a little bit of tennis in college, not like the D1 or anything, but he played a lot of just like practice sets and stuff. And so my mom was like, hey, like, let's just try tennis. And then first time I got on the court, I really loved it and just kind of went from there.
That's awesome. Math major at Liberty. What do you plan to do with that when you're done?
Yep. So my dream is actually to become a coach. So I am doing like a minor in psychology, but I just love math, and I was looking to go into teaching math in a high school, but I think for right now, God is really calling my heart to get into that coaching field for now.
Great stuff. Well, Grace, we certainly appreciate your time. Good luck coming up here with the season, and looking forward to seeing what the future has for this team.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.